Hey guys, we are about to embark on an ambitious study of the epistle to the Romans. The Apostle Paul, who wrote 13 letters of the New Testament, wrote this kind of as his magnum opus, the pinnacle of his theology. He wrote this letter to Christians in the city of Rome, the capital city of the empire. And it's one of his later works. We see in this the audience that Paul was writing to was both Jew and Gentile. You get clues to the audience and to the purpose of the writing of Romans in chapter 1 and in chapters 15 and 16 at the end. It's 16 chapters long. But he says here in chapter 1, verse 10, 11, 12, 13, right here in this area, he's saying how he longs to see the Christians there and to mutually encourage one another. And then he says he's often tried to get there to Rome, but has been hindered. And then he says here in verse 13, in order that I might reap some harvest among you as well as among the rest of the Gentiles. I'm under obligation both to Greeks and barbarians, both to the wise and the foolish. And this is the theme that he'll continue throughout the letter, is ministering or serving or preaching different types of people all across the spectrum, economically, culturally. This is a letter where he addresses much to Jewish believers and calling them out to be fair and to recognize that we're all sinners. We're all on the same level ground before God, and that we're all saved in the same way by grace through faith. And that's really the message that he uses to drive home this desire to bring people together in unity and to reach different types of diverse groups, is the message of the gospel. The gospel simply means good news. We'll look more in depth in that in our first study that we're about to embark on in chapter 1. We're going to probably look at the first half of chapter 1 this first week. We could try to cover the whole thing, so read the entire chapter 1. But in an hour, I'm not sure if we can really do justice to all of chapter 1 of Romans. If you look at the end of the book, some more things about the purpose of the writing, 15 and 16, chapters 15 and 16. In chapter 15, he talks about the strong and the weak and how different people have different standards and different preferences, and that we are all to be united as a people. Despite our cultural preferences, he calls people to eventually worship together, and he corrals some Old Testament prophecies in chapter 15 to show that God's plan from the beginning was that the Jews and the Gentiles, all of the other nations, would be united in one heart and one mind and one mouth to worship God. And he admits that this is a tough work. This is something that requires a lot of endurance. It allows a lot of patience with each other. And he calls people to bear with each other, to put up with each other, because this is a great goal that God is bringing his people to. In chapter 16, he continues to speak of chapter 15 and 16, his desire to see some of the specific brothers and sisters, the members of the church that he loves. You see a variety of names. Many of them are Roman names or Greek names. So it's a diverse church, probably met in people's homes in smaller groups and scattered all over the city of Rome. And Paul appeals to them here at the very end of the book to fight against divisions and quarrels which separate people, and to be united. And I think that's really like the missionary impulse, and the practical purpose of the letter is to unite the church around this gospel message that we are all sinners, and that God's grace through Jesus Christ has come clearly to save us, and to save us from ourselves and our own selfishness and our own inwardness. We're turned inward as creatures instead of looking to the Creator. And so I can't wait to study chapter 1 with you, to lay the foundations and to dig deeper into the theology of Scripture with you. See you tomorrow, and peace.